As long as we give them maybe a little help by spaying and neutering them, inoculating them against some diseases that they can pick up, they stand a much better chance of living a normal, actually lengthy life. We don't believe they're better off dead. Life is precious, and death is something that we all have to face, but unnecessary death is something we want to avoid.
There probably wouldn't be so many feral cats in the first place if people understood more about cats and what it takes to keep them.
Class, I'm very happy to tell you that we have a special guest.
And just as kittens need to be taught about people, children need to be taught about cats.
Who has a cat at home? Good. Roberto and Alexis have a cat at home. Roberto, what's your cat's name? Kiko. Alexis, what's your cat's name? Fluffy. Well, Hector's going to come in with 3 special cats, and we're going to get to pet them, and we're going to learn their names and call them, and we'll get to learn some special things about them. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Good.
In Miami, Hector Castaner and his cats, known as Buster and the F-Team, take the message to schools.
Here is Flashback, here is Buster. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Buster, come. Buster, come. What's his name? Talk to him.
This is Cats helping people help cats. There are also cats that are helping people help people.
Marilyn, I think I found the samples we've been looking for from the North African cheetahs.
That's great.
Stephen O'Brien of the National Cancer Institute.
We first became interested in cats about 15 years ago when we realized that there was a number of infectious diseases which were fatal in humans and also in cats. It was in the late 1980s that the feline version of the AIDS virus was originally discovered, and we were a little bit curious about whether or not the virus that was causing an AIDS-like illness in domestic cats had found its way into any of the other species of the cat family. Perhaps we were walking into the beginning of an epidemic that would decimate all the cat species in the way that was decimating the human populations where AIDS had broken out.
The prospect was horrifying. 36 species of wild cat in the world, almost all of them at the risk of extinction anyway, and it looked as if they were now in danger from, of all things, AIDS. But the more the Institute collected blood samples from more species of cats, the more it seemed there was more to the story.
What we discovered was exactly what we didn't expect, and that was that virtually every cat species on the planet had some level of infection and exposure to a version of the virus that causes AIDS in domestic cats. But what was different was that these cats, the wild cats, at least the ones that we looked at, they didn't seem to be getting sick. They didn't seem to be developing immunodeficiency disease, and that was a puzzle. So what's happened with some of these cats is that they've actually evolved genetic defenses against a fatal disease like the AIDS virus. And understanding that in the cats might lead us to discovering a similar kind of natural genetic mechanism in humans.
As companions, humans and cats go back maybe 4,000 years. But there's much more than companionship in the link. Both are mammals, and both have a common genetic heritage. Could it be that cats will help reveal a genetic cure for human AIDS?
And in 1996, we were actually lucky enough to discover the first gene that actually caused a genetic resistance to HIV infection. And this led us to come up with a target, if you will, for new pharmaceuticals that imitate the effects of this natural genetic resistance to a fatal infectious disease.
cats. By killing rats, they're credited with helping limit the Great Plague. Will studying their genes help stop a disease that in parts of the world is already at plague proportions? Cats, after all, are our old friends. They came to us at the same time civilization did. And of all the animals we've domesticated, they're the only ones with whom we don't have a master-servant relationship. Cats choose to stay with us, and we live with them, have them in our houses, for one reason and one reason only. We like them, and they like us.